Mr.
Absolutely.
Fairuz, Mr. Fairuz is from Uzbekistan and is currently based in China. He has an extensive teaching experience and he was awarded the Best TESOL Teacher Award of the year 2014 from China. He was also recently awarded the Golden Globe Education Award 2023 for Global Educator of the Year by the Education World in India. On May 19th, 2023, Mr. Feroz Akbarov was awarded a state medal for his immense contribution to English language teaching in his country, Uzbekistan. Welcome, Mr. Feroz. We would like now to hear your thoughts and what you think about the discussion so far.
Thank you very much. Good evening from the People's Republic of China. And it's an immense pleasure to be part of this wonderful session. We've just witnessed tons of insightful ideas shared by Ms. Lubna Omer. And before I kick off my groundbreaking analogy about ChatGPT and its use, I'd like to mention popular conventional wisdom in regard with the ChatGPT and the technology that AI won't replace human teachers, and this is definitive. So there's no need to panic about the emergence of various kinds of AI and their active integration into the heart of the classroom. And sometimes we hear a popular adage like "use it or lose it." It kind of alludes to the fact that we have to be, forced to use some novelties and the fruits of innovation. But when it comes to AI, there are lots of AIs and creative programs that we are still unaware of, but they still do exist. And does it mean that our teaching gets somehow negatively impacted? I don't think so. Because again, we're coming back to that overarching principle that AI and technology won't replace human teachers. And this principle will be quite existing throughout my speech. So I'd like to challenge some of those earlier mentioned ideas that ChatGPT, the use of ChatGPT, I don't know why, is in most of the cases is limited to designing the classes. I've been to plethora of ELT conferences, and in all of them, I saw the use and the integration into designing the classes. So I just wonder, out of curiosity, perhaps most of the teachers struggle how to design, how to build a class, and this is where the integration of ChatGPT comes in handy. But I would like to suggest a completely different use of ChatGPT, not just asking the questions, the queries about how you would like to design your class, but how about building a kind of a continuous discussion with an AI, specifically ChatGPT, in order to analyze and get a deeper understanding of lots of concepts and problems that are underlying within a specific area, like let's say ELT. Now, lots of problems that have been circulating throughout lots of different conferences, but time and again, at the end of the lecture or conference, the presenters would come up saying, this needs further research. Well, why don't we just look to ChatGPT or some emerging AI tools to build a conversation, and in active collaboration with AI, try to solve those underlying problems. So how do I use ChatGPT? I don't really use ChatGPT to design a class. For example, yesterday I taught a class based on a TED Talk video, which is just about 3 minutes. The title is The Power of Reading. So I asked ChatGPT to design a class, but I didn't really like the ideas brought up by ChatGPT. So what I did is I just cherry picked some of those ideas, and further, I incorporated my own ideas, and something looked quite conducive for what I was initially trying to achieve. So my idea of using AI tools is there has to be a healthy interaction between humans and AI, a kind of a win-win cooperation. Well, perhaps there's no winning point for the AI, but I still look at it as a win-win because the ChatGPT data is going to be enriched on a second to second basis because lots of new information is coming forward. So my idea is, why not we try to establish an active discussion so that we can solve lots of different problems instead of just asking for some ready-made, tailor-made class designs or some tests, things which we can do on our own, we can accomplish easily. But there are things that have been underlying for years, and they still remain there at the bottom of the sea, the academic sea. So, and I also want to talk about the self-efficacy and Kaizen. Just out of curiosity, I put the today's title into the ChatGPT, and I was curious what ChatGPT would come up with. And ChatGPT's answer was, "There's no replacement for the continuous improvement of Kaizen philosophy, uh, because after all, teacher efficacy involves teachers being seeking professional development, reflection, collaborative efforts, and all of which go beyond the capabilities of chatbot." So again, I'm coming back to the earlier point that I mentioned, that AI won't replace human beings, and human beings are the heart and soul of the classroom. So we have to make sure that the tools that we're talking about are there just to enhance the functionality and the capability of our classroom. So, and if you remember earlier, I mentioned a groundbreaking analogy. And what is that? I think everybody knows about Sherlock Holmes, the detective story. And there is actually a tandem, a Sherlock and Dr. John Watson. Dr. John Watson pretty much is a foil that complements the weaknesses of Sherlock Holmes' aloof and cold-hearted tendencies. So he's more compassionate, he's more patient, and he's more kind of a advisor type guy. So we can also look at various kind of emerging AI tools, pretty much like a foil to our weaknesses, that can complement us to become a better teacher. Or in the framework of the classroom, we can look at them as a tool to enhance the functionality of our classes rather than being threatened or intimidated about the ignorance of all those tools. Like I would be brutally honest that I might not be aware of lots of different apps that which you are using, or so many different kind of emerging AIs, but I can still teach a relatively good class. Why? Because I believe that at the heart of a good lesson, there's a human teacher, and the human teacher and the human element can never be replaced. So I would like to take this opportunity to address to all those viewers, because this question has been all over the platforms, the conferences, the talk shows. Do we have to, be afraid of all those AIs, or are they going to hamper our success of becoming a better individual or professional? No, never. Never. We have a phone. Everybody has a phone, right? So this has been, in the early 90s, just a couple of people used to have some large phones, and people were scared about those emerging items. But now we have fancy and slim and sleek phones, and nobody's scared. Why? Because there are so many apps. It's actually the AI is inbuilt in those mobile devices and various kind of gadgets and gizmos. And we've been actively consuming all those technological aids. But as for the chat GPT, I don't know why people start being a little bit critical about several ethical and plagiarism issues. But I think we shouldn't be scared about it, because this is, like I said, this is just like a tandem of Sherlock and Dr. Watson. Dr. Watson is there to complement, as a foil, the weaknesses of Sherlock so that they work together to achieve a better result. So we can work together with AI to enhance the effectiveness, the efficiency, and the functionality of our classes. So most of the times, what I do with ChatGPT is not about asking questions how to design a class. I can do it on my own. Why not? I can just, instead of asking for a ready-made and tailor-made class kind of plan, I can just sweat myself. I can exert myself. I can go the extra mile to do it myself. But I would, wait for those challenging moments when I could really stretch ChatGPT and engage in a very abstract and academic topic. Like, I keep on asking ChatGPT lots of different questions, providing specific context, and let the conversation keep going. I'm just curious how long this conversation could go, instead of just asking a question and getting the answer and being fully satisfied. So it also depends on how we look at those tools and how we use those tools. So from all those given examples that I provided you with, I would like the audience and all those viewers who would be watching this recording to look at those AI tools as an offsider. An offsider means as a helper, as an aid, as an aid, So internet, it depends how you use the internet. Internet could be, it's a double-edged sword. It can be vicious. It can be, villain, but it could also be your best friend. It could be your mentor. It could be your advisor. It could be your teacher. It could be the best guide. So it depends on how you use and how you look at it. So it also depends on your personality. So all those ethical issues, plagiarism, all those problems may crop up down the lane because of the ethical and personal issues of a specific person. That's my viewpoint. If a person is morally, sound, if a person doesn't have any, psychological and mental issues, if he is academically fair, if he is a proponent of academic integrity, I don't think he would use ChatGPT to cheat or plagiarize. He would be there to, use it for the fair purposes. And because he fully understands, as someone who is a professional, it's a big word, professional. It's a really, it doesn't mean you have a degree or you are so knowledgeable. Professional also means you are an honest person. So my point is, we have to make use of those emerging AI tools as a complementary tool, so that it's not going to interfere with our final objective of achieving a kind of a goal. Yeah, if you do have any questions, I can take on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Firuz, for this insightful and balanced view of AI. It's interesting that you use AI in the plural sense, which probably more and more people will start using in the future as a shortcut for AI tools.